Day 3 with Doc Holliday, and we're going to give it some challenges today on Barber Dave Shaves and Such. Hey everybody, welcome to Monday. Hope your day, if you're working, is better than a traditional Monday. And if you're off today, well, hey, it's just another day off. Okay, we're on day 3 of the testing for the CBL soaps and Hombre's Barbershop Doc Holliday. Just a fantastic soap. But I wanted to challenge it today. It was such a good straight razor shave yesterday. I don't have a lot to take off. But I wanted to challenge it with my most aggressive razor, which is the Blackland Blackbird in titanium, as far as a DE razor. And it's funny, I've mentioned this before, it's more aggressive than most of my open comb razors, and it would put it in the same range as a fat tip, or a fat tip, whatever you want to call it. But how I wanted to challenge the soap today was with my Nemesis brush. Those of you that have been around the channel for a while know that this is my most expensive brush. I spent north of $3.5 bills for this brush, and it's become my nemesis because it's got a beautifully dense silver tip knot, but it doesn't release lather. So I wanted to see how this Morris & Fondran, which is my Grail brush, did against the new Dave's Barbershop base and the Doc Holliday. So I loaded it a little bit longer, probably 25 seconds, and let's see what she does. Because traditionally with this brush, I cannot get it to release the lather. And a lot of that is the properties of the soap itself, because it just, it emulsifies so quickly that this brush just eats it alive and won't release it. Well, so far, Doc Holliday is telling the Morris & Fondran, hold my whiskey. Now let's see when I add water. That's usually when, and for this brush, I always add water just by dribbling it in. And this is usually where the brush says, okay, I'm thirsty and I'm going to drink it all in, and then I can never get the brush out. Most famously with my Penhaligons, it just becomes a sudsy mess. So that was with the first application of water. And I'm actually going to stretch this a little bit just to see how much water I can add comfortably. And so far, it's fantastic. And what I'll do is I'll do the drops of water again. And then finally what I'll do is I'll dip the tips of the brush in the water to see how far. And this is becoming slicker and slicker as we go. And I think this brush has met its match as far as, because it's got plenty of soap in it. It's releasing it real well. So I don't need to add any more water at this point, but I want to see how far she'll go. So now I'm going to actually dip the water, or dip the tips of the brush in the water, and just go straight to the face. And I'll do that on each side. Now it's super slick, super runny, but I want to see if the brush will release some of the soap from the inside. And it's doing just a tremendous job. Yeah, I had a feeling that's what was going to happen. Yeah, this is super sick. Super slick rather. Overhydrated, but it's not dissipating at all. So it is accepting the water. So I really do think you could put as much water as you want in this soap. And it comes to the point where it becomes a flingy, a flingy soap. But yeah, just absolutely amazing. Having shaved with it for the last 3 days, the nuances of the fragrance is really starting to come out. And today, very light, but the huckleberry seems to be the star of the show, but you get hints of peach, and of course the ever-present Hombre's Barbershop. I mentioned this yesterday that this may vault itself to the top of the list, and I think it will. And just the residual slickness, and I haven't put any water on this, is just unbelievable. And the reason why I chose the Blackbird today is because I wanted to see the cushion of this soap against a very, very aggressive razor, and this is making this razor feel almost mild. Because with this razor, I do have to be a little careful, because if I get too much pressure, because of the titanium, it's so light that I can get irritation and some dragginess, if that's a word. And this is just sliding like butter. I checked CBL's website this morning, and this shave set was not up yet, but I'm also an hour later than he is, so I'm sure it's just too early. But I know that you'll be able to get it on his site sometime today in set format only. I don't think he's going to sell these separately. And then, like I said yesterday, when they run out on his website, then I'll provide, you'll be able to contact me and get it directly from the shop. Because I do have, I think, I can't remember how many exactly I have, but it is a limited edition. And I want to make sure that my local folks and my clients have access to it as well. The brush is trying like heck not to release the lather, but it's not doing a good job. So that's a good thing, because there's more lather than I'll ever need on this. Today, I'm not sure how many shaves I've got on this Persona Lab Blue, but it's been in there a while. But it's just gliding through this and cushioning on itself, and it's just unbelievable. Now I'm getting more of the peach and some of the the sartorial flavors, the beeswax and honey. I said yesterday that it's a sweet soap. I'm going to rephrase that. It's really not that sweet, because I know during our Zoom call last night, people were worried about the fact that it's a little bit sweet, and actually it isn't. It's more of a fresh peach. I mean, obviously the huckleberry sweetens it up a little bit in the honey, but it's really not sweet at all. And I'm not going to rinse my face after this next pass just to see how the residual slickness is on that front. Because I know my buddy Spider judges residual slickness on how slick the soap is without adding water. I do both. So let's look. Unbelievable. This is almost as slick as if you put water on it. So I'm going to go ahead and lather right back on it and see how she does that way. And as I said, my beard's a little bit light today because I had such a good straight razor shave yesterday. But I'm going to try to do videos all 3 days. So I can see, and then I'm going to do a final review of this soap next Sunday on the video. So I'll shave with the entire week. Oh yeah, it's unbelievable. And I'll squeeze out the soap on this brush because it's actually releasing it pretty well, but I know that it has a bunch on reserve. So not having water on it, is the soap still slick on the face? Very much so. Okay, let's talk about the contest. We're sitting currently where we need 177 subscribers to reach the 2,000 mark. We had a little bit of a lull, and who knows why that is. I do think that it's gotten to the point now where I need to start doing some live shows, and I'm going to do that. It's just with 3 channels, things start to get a little bit crazy. But anyhow, so as I said, and I'll show the actual prize next week now that I've got everything in stock. So we know that we're giving away a brand new Casio G-Shock as part of the prize. And also we're going to be giving a Doc Holiday set, so the soap and aftershave. Unfortunately, that's going to make it to where it'll probably be Conus only because of the alcohol. But I'm also going to do a bonus, and I'm also going to include a tub of spaghetti western. And if I can find it, a refill puck of the original Hombre's Barbershop, so you have all three. I don't have any more of the aftershave for Hombre's, but I've got a few left of the spaghetti western, so I'll include that. So pretty good prize package for our 2,000 member giveaway. So again, it'll be the Casio G-Shock watch. It will also be the brand new Doc Holliday set of soap and aftershave, and then I'm going to throw in a set of the spaghetti western, and if I can find it, I'll have to do some digging. I'm going to throw in a soap refill puck of the original Hombre's. That way you can experience all three and see how this new Tombstone collection will show you how the evolution of the soaps went. Great shave today. Like I said, I did 3 passes. I probably didn't need to. So let's see how much soap this has left in it. And this is after this, you know, and there's more in the deep part of this knot. But that's how much I've got left. And I'm not going to waste it. So if you're looking for a soap that you'll have more lather than you'll ever need, and if you've got a boar, badger knot that is so densely packed that it won't release the soap, this is the soap for you. Now I do this with the soap squeezing out of the brush to not waste it, plus to just get that wonderful, wonderful fragrance. And this time it just was an explosion of peach, which is wonderful. Okay, let's see what Mr. Alum has to say. Traditionally with the Blackbird, I do get actually more feedback from the alum than I do from a straight razor, believe it or not. But not much at all on this, which is good. All right, so I'm not going to show it because obviously you've seen it. Our soap today was CBL Soaps Hombre's Barbershop, a limited edition made by Chris Lindsay for our shop and myself. Also the aftershave, and then the brush, the razor that we used was the Blackbird, Blackland Blackbird Titanium with a Persona Lab Blue. And then as far as the brush, my nemesis, I love this brush, but I also hate this brush because of, number one, when you spend that kind of money on a brush, you expect it to release the lather, but it's such, it's you know, the tips have gelled, and it's such a beautiful brush. Morrison foreground Apollina, and this is a Lee Sabini knot, and just absolutely fantastic. I think it's a, I can't read it from here, but let me see. Yeah, it is a handmade Sabini silver tip, number 3, I believe. Just a wonderful brush, just a bear to use. We're going to stick with the Thayer's Lavender. And this will require you, even with the alum, to rinse this off a little bit because it is so slick. And the goodness of the aftershave, which is an aftershave milk, is amazing because the clothing that I had on yesterday, and we didn't do a whole heck of a lot, still has that peach huckleberry sartorial feeling to it. So for an aftershave, to have that kind of longevity is pretty impressive. Today, again, we used Thayer's Lavender. We'll let that dry down just a tad bit. So I hope you're enjoying this series so far. You need to get you some of this soap when it becomes available on CBL because it's just tremendous. Okay, and again, we're using Doc Holliday as far as the aftershave milk. Actually, I don't know how to classify this. It's not a milk. It's not a balm. It's not an aftershave, but it's, and I'll read you the ingredients in this, and I think this is shared with most of CBL's aftershaves. But basically, It's got kosher ethanol, which is your alcohol, your aloe vera, witch hazel, apricot kernel oil, rice bran oil, oleo alcohol, jojoba oil, fragrance, Abyssinian oil, argan oil, meadow foam seed oil, red raspberry seed oil, rosehip oil, neosance, squalane, allotonin, aristoflex, and polymol. So everything in here is like skin food. Everything in here is just absolutely wonderful. It does give you a nice, even though there's no menthol in it, it gives you a nice alcohol hit, but it lingers with all those oils, but it makes your face feel like silk. All right, kids, that's day number 3 with Doc Holliday. Tomorrow we'll do another video that'll be day 4, and we're going to challenge it with maybe even an old-fashioned shavette, which I don't like using very often, but we'll see what happens. Anyhow, this has been Barber Dave's Shaves and Such, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys will definitely get you some of the Doc Holliday as soon as it comes out. Again, we'll see you again tomorrow. Take care.